Welcome back, my beauties, to the Feminine Energy Motivation channel, and also welcome back to part 2 of our deep dive into the intricacies of relationships and the beautiful dance between masculine and feminine energies. Towards the end of this video, I will be further revealing the clear indicators of when a man truly loves a woman. If you haven't had a chance to catch part 1 yet, I highly recommend heading over to my channel to check it out. In part 2 today, we'll be delving further into the nuances of achieving balance within ourselves and our relationships. Also in part 2, we'll be discussing the importance of transparency and communication and nurturing a healthy balance of both that masculine and feminine energies, right? We'll explore how fear often plays a significant role, particularly in men anyways, and how overcoming this fear is essential for fostering empowerment and authenticity in relationships. Additionally, we'll touch upon the significance of accepting constructive criticism and finding balance not only in relationships, but also in various aspects of life. Furthermore, we'll delve into the challenges of navigating disagreements and conflicts within relationships while maintaining respect and understanding. We'll explore those misconceptions that showing compassion and kindness during disagreements is a sign of weakness, highlighting instead how it actually demonstrates strength and fosters harmony in relationships. Lastly, we'll explore the complexities of letting go and moving forward after a breakup. We'll discuss the importance of self-reflection, setting boundaries, and prioritizing personal growth and well-being. Through it all, we'll emphasize the value of embracing authenticity, compassion, and self-love as we navigate the beautiful journey of love and self-discovery. So, buckle up and get ready for an insightful and empowering exploration of what it truly looks like when a man loves a woman, and also how we can cultivate fulfilling and enriching relationships in our lives. Let's dive in. All right. In any relationship, achieving a harmonious balance between that masculine and feminine energies is absolutely crucial. It's not about rigidly adhering to one energy over the other, but rather embracing both within ourselves and our partners. From my perspective as a woman, I believe that men have the capacity to embody both masculine and feminine qualities, albeit with one energy often being more predominant. It's essential for a man to understand how to harness his masculine strength and assertiveness, while also demonstrating empathy, compassion, and kindness when the circumstances require it. There's a common misconception that embodying kindness and sensitivity diminishes a man's masculine essence, but that's actually far from the truth. When a man can wholeheartedly express love and tenderness towards a woman while confidently embracing his strength and his assertiveness. It's all about striking a harmonious balance between these two qualities, showcasing both his nurturing nature and his unwavering resolve. Likewise, the notion that women are solely drawn to bad boys, right, is completely flawed. What most women genuinely seek is a companion who seamlessly integrates both masculine and feminine traits, but one dominating over the other. We crave a partner who exudes strength and confidence when the situation demands it, but yet remains compassionate and empathetic at heart. Now, this stays between us, ladies, because let's be honest, most men don't want to hear that. They don't want to know that they have feminine traits. They just don't, typically, right? But the reality is it's a careful balance. And quite frankly, if they have some characteristics of feminine traits, us women tend to be more attracted to that as long as they're predominantly masculine traits, right? All right. But ultimately, striking this balance fosters healthier, more enriching relationships, and it also enables partners to complement each other's strengths and vulnerabilities, further forging actually a harmonious bond founded on mutual respect and empathy. Now, from a personal perspective, I've discovered that embracing both masculine and feminine traits brings immense depth to my life. Just like you, I recognize elements within myself that stem from masculine energy, such as my determination, goal setting, analytical prowess, starting my own business, being a boss babe, right? However, I equally value my feminine essence, which enables me to uplift others, foster connections, just like I'm doing here with you, and provide empathetic support. Balancing the utilization of each energy can present its challenges, right? So there are instances where I realize I could have displayed more assertiveness. And then there are moments where I ponder over missed chances to demonstrate affection. It's an ongoing voyage of personal development and exploration, one where I continue to glean insights and evolve with each passing day. I'm better today than I was yesterday, and I'll be better tomorrow than I am today. All right. In our society, there's a tendency to perceive things in absolute, pushing us to pick sides between conflicting concepts or personas. However, the reality is far more intricate. We possess the capacity to encompass both masculine and feminine energies concurrently. It's about embracing our multifaceted nature and appreciating the elegance of harmonizing two seemingly contradictory notions within ourselves. By embracing this equilibrium within ourselves, we not only enhance our personal fulfillment, but also strengthen our bonds with others. It's a voyage of self-discovery that holds immense value, even amidst the occasional stumble or setback. So, when it comes to nurturing both masculine and feminine energies within ourselves, there are several skills that we can cultivate to maintain a healthy balance. We're going to dive into those. All right. First and foremost, transparency and communication are key, especially in relationships. It's important for both partners to open up and be honest about their needs and preferences, right? By having these candid conversations, we can better understand each other's energy and create harmony effortlessly over time. Fear can often play a significant role, however, particularly for men who may fear losing their partner and consequently their sense of self. Overcoming this fear involves acknowledging that healthy relationships require mutual respect and the willingness to work in improving them. Understanding that it's okay to walk away from an unhealthy situation fosters a sense of empowerment and authenticity in the relationship as well. Additionally, learning to accept constructive criticism from our partners is crucial for growth. It's natural to feel a little bit sensitive when emotionally invested, right? But recognizing that feedback is important to strengthen the relationship rather than undermine it can lead to profound personal and relational development. I spoke about some of this stuff in a previous podcast and previous episode, where I essentially believe that when we actually are able to truly accept ourselves and really say, in order for me to continue to grow, I also have the ability to tap into that constructive criticism, even from people that I've dated in the past. And I know, bear with me, I'm not saying reach out to them if it's a toxic situation, if it's not going to add any value to your life. Please, I don't advocate for this, okay? But if you still have a friendship, which is a whole other set of questions that I have for you, but the reality is it's possible, right? Where you can have friendships with an ex-partner or ex-husband, right? And if you have the ability to reach out to them and say, hey, I just want to ask you these set of questions, if you don't mind, because I'm actually working on myself. I'm trying to do and be better. What are some things that you believe that I could have done better in our marriage or in our relationship? If you have the ability to tap into that information, you will have a wealth of knowledge at your fingertips that you will absolutely empower you, so long as you're able to receive that possible criticism or constructive criticism anyways, in a way that will strengthen you as a person, as an individual, and help you grow in future relationships. Okay? Now, all right, now that I've said that, finally we're going to dive into finding balance, right? So it's not just about relationships here. It's really, we can apply this to various aspects of our life. Like in sports, for example, where we adapt our approach based on the demands of the game, understanding that the needs of the moment helps us navigate different situations with grace and confidence. Ultimately, the journey towards balance requires self-awareness, empathy, and commitment to that growth, right? As we become more attuned to ourselves and to our partners, finding equilibrium becomes second nature, enriching our lives and relationships in absolutely beautiful ways. Now, the challenge, however, lies in how patient we are with ourselves and others as we navigate through imbalanced situations. It's about understanding that walking into a relationship doesn't mean walking into perfection. Instead, it's about embracing imperfection and learning together and growing together. When we acknowledge that disagreements and conflicts are inevitable, it's not a matter of if we have arguments or conflicts or disagreements, it's a matter of when. It's inevitable, right? But when we have that idea or thought process, we equip ourselves with the skills needed to navigate them, hopefully in a very graceful manner. I know I found that knowing we'll encounter these disagreements allows me to develop the necessary skills to address them. It's unrealistic to expect a relationship without any disagreements. Disagreements are a natural part of human. However, it's essential to distinguish between healthy disagreements and harmful arguments. While some argue that arguing is normal and healthy, it's crucial to draw a line when arguments become disrespectful or damaging, including toxic, right? Yes, disagreements can occur, but normalizing harmful behavior only perpetuates that toxicity. It's very rare to be with someone and never disagree, but it is essential to approach disagreements with respect for yourself and for the other person, as well as understanding. Okay? Finding balance, especially between the masculine and feminine energies, requires recognizing each other's needs in various situations. So, for example, when one partner is in a heated moment, the other can offer compassion and calmness instead of escalating the situation any further, right? This mutual support and understanding fosters harmony and growth in the relationship. Unfortunately, however, there's a misconception that showing compassion and kindness during disagreements is a sign of weakness. However, it's quite the opposite, babes, honestly. It takes strength to choose kindness over conflict, to prioritize peace and harmony over ego. Embracing feminine energy isn't a weakness. It's a strength that brings balance and stability to the relationship. Ultimately, we must shift our mindset and understand that embracing our true selves, whether masculine or feminine, is empowering. It's about honoring ourselves and each other, recognizing that our strengths complement and support one another. By embracing authenticity and compassion, we create a foundation of love and understanding that transcends conflicts and fosters deeper connection. But that's the thing, isn't it? When someone gives you their all to someone, right, who doesn't even appreciate it, it can truly bring out the worst in them. Yeah, it's heartbreaking when you've been nothing but loving and kind only to have it taken advantage of. It leaves you feeling like you need to armor up to be assertive and strong and to protect yourself. Sadly, this is a struggle that many of us face. Trying to trust again after being hurt, especially when we see the same patterns repeating in others. It begs the question, why do we keep falling into the same traps? Why do we find ourselves drawn to similar types of people? It's like we're carrying around our past wounds, shielding them from further pain, but in doing so, we inadvertently make ourselves more vulnerable to those deeper hurts. It's a natural response to want to guard our hearts, especially when they've been wounded before. On the Masculine Energy Motivation channel, which is my other channel, where I speak to my male audience, my masculine audience, what I have shared with them, and I'm going to share it here with you if I haven't already, is you guys already are familiar with the acronym of PTSD, right? Post-traumatic stress disorder. But another term that has been recently is slowly but surely becoming more popular, and if you haven't heard about it before, you're hearing about it here on my show, right? But one thing that I mentioned on that channel for men to be aware of is when we have these triggers that are based off of infidelity. It's called PISD. It's a term that has been coined recently, and it's post-infidelity stress disorder. Those are for people that have actually gone through infidelity traumas, and you know, whether they fought, they argued, they were so badly hurt that they did crazy and wild things that they can't even believe they did. And the list goes on and on and on, and I'm not going to talk about that here in the show, but you get the idea. It's those things where we kind of just lose ourselves, right? Where we've been hurt so badly that we act out of character. We don't recognize ourselves. And it goes deeper, like I said, but PISD is a real thing. And it's becoming more popular in, the psychological aspects. It's being studied still, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. So I completely understand why people hesitate to open up again. I truly do. No one wants to endure abuse or misuse. It's a natural instinct to protect ourselves from further harm, right? But we got to remember that not everyone will hurt us in the same way. And while it's important to be cautious, we shouldn't let past hurts dictate our future relationships, especially because that person that you're with now or will be with doesn't deserve that. They deserve a clean slate. But within you, it's about finding the courage to open our hearts once more, twice more if it calls for it. Don't close your heart off, because you know what? When you do that, the possibilities of absolutely finding that true love that you desire becomes impossible. I know it's scary to open up your heart again, but I promise you'll survive. And if you want help with that, I highly recommend you reach out to either a therapist. You can also reach out to me directly, and I can help you unpack it. I will be posting eventually my booking channel. I'm not ready for that just yet, but my calendar's quite packed right now. But eventually I'm going to open up my calendar so you can book a session with me, one-on-one, whatever you need. It could be a 30-minute session, an hour session. We can do a 2-hour session. But if you want to unpack all these things, feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm going to share my Instagram handle as well, but I'll share my email here with you guys in the description. Okay. But I get it. Finding that courage to open our hearts again, that's scary. But knowing that with healing and that self-love, we can break free from the cycle of pain and find true happiness. All right. So, it's kind of like trying to chase away darkness with more darkness. You can't expect someone who's going to hurt you to change if you're not willing to be vulnerable, open, and loving yourself. It's not about setting yourself up to be hurt. It's about revealing the truth about the people around you faster. If I approach with love and you can't reciprocate, then I know you're not the one for me. But if I hold back, I'm giving you permission to do the same. And then we're both stuck behind walls so high that we can't even see clearly. First and foremost, ladies, we need to heal from our past wounds. It's like letting a wound breathe instead of covering it up. Keeping it covered only prolongs the pain. And you're right, separating our actions from the person's response is crucial. Being loving and compassionate isn't the issue. It's whether the other person can receive it. We must learn to draw boundaries without losing our kindness, and that comes with healing and confidence. Not being afraid to show our love, to show our compassion. Once we're healthy and confident, we will no longer ever tolerate unhealthy behavior anymore. Your insight and wanting to fix people, that's a whole other topic we need to discuss. All right? Many of us fall into the trap of thinking that we can change someone, heal them, make them better. It's like we see them as broken and believe we're the solution. But often the person we're with doesn't even want to change or even improve. We end up in a cycle of criticism and trying to mold them into something that they're not. It's a subconscious pattern, and it can lead to frustration and disappointment. But the key is to truly recognize when we're falling into this pattern, right? And to focus on healing ourselves instead. We can't control or change other people. We just can't. The only ones that we can control is ourselves, our emotions, our actions, our behaviors, our responses, our triggers. We can only change ourselves. And if you have control to change yourself, then you have the ability to make a change for the better in your life. What other people do or don't do is not in your control. So stop trying to control anyone else's life. And I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying if there's a tendency at any point, either in the future or there have been situations even in the past where you can reflect on, okay, you will look back and say, what was I doing? Why was I trying to change them? What I could have done is I could have just, the power of walking away, for example, the power of, being able to say, hey, you know what? I will deal with this later. Right now, I'm going to go take care of me. I'm going to prioritize me. Okay? You cannot change other people. You cannot force them to do or be or see things the way that you need them to. Right? So when we're whole and confident, we will attract the right kind of love, someone who appreciates our light and reciprocates it. One significant issue is the misconception that by choosing someone that we can upgrade or improve, we gain value and even security. We start to believe that because we offer more, our partner will appreciate us more and be less likely to leave or cheat. It's like we see ourselves as the prize. But these situations rarely work out because we're basing our choice on what we can do for them rather than what they can truly offer us in return. It's just not sustainable, sweetie. I've noticed a pattern among women, especially in their first love experience, that after being hurt, whether by childhood trauma or past relationship, right, they become more cautious. They vow never to let themselves be hurt like that ever again. So they consciously or subconsciously, right, choose patterns in their partners who are safe, who they believe won't hurt them in the same way, but often these partners are the ones they feel they can fix or improve, hoping that they'll appreciate and respect them more. But it rarely turns out that way. Many times, these relationships end in betrayal. Not because cheating, right? Or let's just say, it's just because the chosen partner can never fulfill their needs. They may benefit from the emotional support and encouragement, but they'll eventually seek what's missing somewhere else. This leads to temptation and infidelity as they realize that they're not fully satisfied or excited by their partner anymore. It's like we're trying to gain leverage by choosing fixer-uppers, but in reality, it only brings disappointment and heartache. We need to recognize our worth and choose partners who truly appreciate and fulfill us, rather than settling for those who we believe that we can change or mold into something that they're not. Recognizing when it's time to let go can be one of the most challenging decisions we face in our lives. It's like standing at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take. Many of us grapple with the fear of loneliness, the fear of acknowledging that despite our efforts, things just aren't working out. We invest so much of ourselves into a relationship hoping it will flourish, but sometimes, despite our best intentions, it's simply not meant to be. I believe that it's crucial to shift our perspective on letting go. It doesn't always signify the end of a journey, right? But instead, it can be a pause, a necessary step towards personal growth and self-discovery. Perhaps the timing isn't right, or the circumstances aren't conducive to a healthy relationship, right? Letting go can create space for both individuals to focus on their own paths, allowing them to reunite later in life with a deeper understanding and appreciation for each other. However, there comes a point when we must face the reality that staying in the relationship is no longer serving our emotional well-being. When one partner is unwilling to put in the effort to address issues and communicate openly, it might be a sign that it's time to walk away. I often receive messages from individuals who have exhausted every avenue of communication, yet their partner remains resistant to that change. In those cases, it's essential to recognize that staying in a stagnant situation will only prolong the pain and hinder personal growth. It's akin to staying at a job that requires qualifications that we don't possess, for example, right? With the hope that we'll eventually acquire them. If your partner, however, is content with the status quo and unwilling to embark on the journey of self-improvement and healing, we might find ourselves waiting indefinitely for change that might never even come. Effective communication is key in navigating such situations. However, verbal exchanges can often become clouded by emotions and defensiveness, All right? That's why I believe expressing our deepest concerns and desires through a letter can be incredibly impactful. It allows us to articulate our thoughts clearly without the interference of immediate reactions from the other person, right? It provides both parties with the opportunity to reflect and digest the content at their own pace, fostering a more constructive dialogue when discussing the issues at hand. If, however, despite all efforts and honest communication, there's still no progress or willingness to work towards a resolution, it may be a clear indication that it's time to let go and prioritize our own well-being. Like I said, even if it's just a pause. It's not about assigning blame or harboring resentment. No, not at all, okay? Please don't do that. It's about acknowledging our worth and having the courage to pursue a path that aligns with our happiness and fulfillment. You know, I've come to realize that relationships, kind of like delicate flowers, right? They require nurturing and care from both parties to truly blossom. It's like tending to a garden. If only one person is tending to the soil, watering the plants, and nurturing their growth, the garden will struggle to thrive. I've learned that endings don't always signify the end of a beautiful story. Sometimes they're just the beginning of a new chapter of growth and self-discovery. Often, I've seen both individuals need space to grow individually in order to flourish together. We place so much pressure on ourselves to evolve in sync with our partners. But the truth is, sometimes we need to take a step back and allow ourselves the freedom to grow at our own pace. If we find ourselves at a crossroads where we can't seem to grow together, it may be a sign that we need to create space for personal growth, even if it means growing apart for a while. And that's perfectly okay. It doesn't mean that the love we shared was any less meaningful. It simply means that we're honoring our individual journeys and allowing ourselves the opportunity to explore new paths. All right. Another thing that I've noticed that many of us fall into the trap of believing is that we need to change ourselves to win someone back. We convince ourselves that if we become what they desire, they'll come running back to us. But in reality, true growth comes from within, not from trying to mold ourselves into someone else's ideal. Instead of focusing on winning someone back, I believe it's more important to focus on becoming the best version of ourselves for our own sake. If we feel that there are areas where we can improve, let's do it for ourselves, not for anyone else. Let's embrace our journey of self-discovery and growth, knowing that the right person will appreciate us for who we truly are. So you probably want to hear, or don't want to hear, my take on trying to win someone back. I think it's noble to want to reconcile, but it's essential to prioritize our own growth and happiness above all else. Let's embrace our journey of self-discovery and growth, knowing that the right person will truly appreciate us. Let's trust that everything happens for a reason, and if it's meant to be, the paths of our hearts will intertwine once again in their own time and in their own beautiful way. When it comes to trying to win someone back, I believe it's essential to shift our perspective and focus on that personal growth and self-improvement, like I said, right? Not just for the sake of winning someone's affection, but for our own well-being and happiness. If there were areas in the relationship where communication faltered or we struggle to connect, right? It's an opportunity for us to learn and grow, not just for that particular person, but for ourselves and for future relationships. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves, not to win someone back, but to nurture healthy connections in the future. When considering whether to reconcile with an ex-partner, it's crucial to reflect on the reasons behind the breakup and whether those issues can actually be resolved. Sometimes we're so focused on the idea of getting back together that we overlook fundamental issues that led to the breakup in the first place and not allowing time or space for that growth. I've found that taking time for self-reflection and introspection can be incredibly healing during a breakup. It's an opportunity to rediscover ourselves, our passions, and our purpose beyond the confines of relationships. By reconnecting with ourselves, we can gain clarity and perspective on what we truly want and need in a partner. It's also important to resist the temptation to dwell on the past or idealize the relationship. Right? While it's natural to miss the good moments, we must remind ourselves of the reasons why the relationship didn't work out. Sometimes, the pain of letting go is necessary for our own growth and emotional well-being. Ultimately, moving on from a breakup requires patience, self-love, and compassion for ourselves. It's about trusting that everything happens for a reason and embracing the journey of self-discovery and growth, knowing that we are worthy of love and happiness with or without a partner by our side. My loves, sometimes as we journey towards growth and self-improvement, it can stir up overwhelming emotions for a woman. She may find herself searching for flaws, even in the midst of all the goodness, almost as if she's afraid to fully embrace it. It's not that she wants to hurt you, but sometimes she's grappling with her own fears and uncertainties, right? I understand how deeply unfair and painful that might feel. It's not easy to comprehend why things have to unfold the way that they did. But let's imagine for a moment that this difficult decision, right? As much as it was hard to do, the outcome might have been even more heart-wrenching down the road. All right, as challenging as it can be to come to terms with perhaps the separation, right? It's a blessing in disguise. It grants the space and the time needed to navigate your own journey to discover what your heart truly desires. And who knows, in the beautiful tapestry of life, there might come a moment when those paths intertwine once more with a newfound understanding and appreciation for each other's growth and journey. All right, in moments of heartache and separation, it's really natural to focus solely on healing from the immediate pain, right? But as we journey through the depths of healing, we realize it encompasses far more than just the present moment. It's about unraveling the layers of our past, unearthing those buried traumas, and confronting the ghosts of relationships gone by. Often we carry the weight of our childhood scars and the echoes of past heartbreaks, unknowingly allowing them to actually shape our present and influence our future choices in love. I believe, however, that with every fiber of my being, that true healing is the cornerstone of finding the right person for us. How can we expect to find love and be loved fully when we're still carrying the burden of unresolved pain within us? It's akin to viewing the world through foggy lenses, our vision completely obscured by the remnants of our past struggles. That's why embarking on our healing journey is of paramount importance. Gently wiping away the dust from our glasses, allowing clarity to seep in and reveal the path that leads us to where we truly belong. And in this sacred journey of healing, having a guiding hand to walk alongside us can make all the difference. It could be a trusted friend, a compassionate coach, hint, hint, or a nurturing therapist. They serve as beacons of light, gently nudging us forward and holding space for our growth with open arms, even when the road ahead feels dauntingly long and unknown and scary and cold. All right? Even though healing is not a swift or linear process, having a support system to keep us anchored in our journey can provide solace and encouragement, propelling us even closer to the profound love and connection that we seek. All right, the shifted perspectives, right? It really truly touches my heart deeply. It helps me to realize how transformative it would be if we could perceive our present pain as a pathway to future beauty. Navigating life's trials would take on a whole new light if we could only hold on to the promise of joy that lies ahead. Yet, my dear, it's undeniable that embracing present pain, even with the prospect of future happiness, can be a daunting task. But when we step back and view it through the lens of the bigger picture, we see that this temporary discomfort serves as a guardian, safeguarding the precious essence of our lives from potential long-term anguish. All right. Even though it may not erase all traces of pain, this sense of closure paves the way for a smoother journey. And for me, finding solace in my faith during times of uncertainty, it's like wrapping myself in a warm embrace. I talked about this in part 1. Believing wholeheartedly that if things don't unfold as we hoped, it's because something infinitely better awaits us, granting me the courage and the fortitude to persevere. All right, now, I know what you've been waiting for. You want to know the secret about what it really looks like when a guy is head over heels in love with you? This is what you've been waiting for. And I'm going to break it down here. So hold on to your hats because, well, it's all about those little everyday things that make a big old difference. So, according to the love gurus like Dr. John Gottman, sure you guys have probably heard of him. If you haven't, I recommend checking out the Gottman Institute. Incredible amounts of research and studies that have been done with couples. All right. But according to the love gurus like Dr. John Gottman, it's not just about those flashy over-the-top romantic gestures that steal the show. No. It's the tiny, everyday actions that keep the love train chugging along smoothly. We're talking about what's known as bids for affection, those cute little ways a guy shows he's totally smitten. First up, we've got active listening. When a guy tunes into his lady without interrupting, scrolling through his phone, or planning his next chess move, it's like saying, "Hey, your words are gold to me." Then we have affectionate touch. From a sweet hand squeeze to a cozy hug, these little touches say, "I'm here for you, babe," louder than words ever could. And next on the list is expressing appreciation. Taking a sec to say thanks or "You're awesome" for all the stuff she does, big or small, keeps the gratitude of vibes flowing. And let's not forget acts of service. Jumping in to help with the dishes or running errands might not seem like a big deal, but to her, it's like getting a superhero sidekick. That is how he shows his love, honey. If he's doing these things for you, you've got it. Okay? And next up is going to be surprise gestures. Yeah, I'm talking about love notes, favorite snacks, and even impromptu date nights. These gems keep the romance spark alive and kicking, and believe me, if he's showing you these things, that man is smitten. This is a big one, especially that I've seen amongst men. Again, odds, right? Is quality time. Whether it's binge watching the latest Netflix series, and I'm not talking about Netflix in jail, come on now. All right. But whether it's binge watching those Netflix series, right? Or just shooting the breeze, carving out time together is like saying, you're my favorite person to hang with. And last but not least, emotional support. Being there to lend an ear or a shoulder to cry on when life gets rocky. Let's say, unfortunately, and I don't want this to be a trigger point for you guys, but I'm going to say it, let's say you lost a pet. Was he there for you? Did he help you? Did he encourage you? Did he rub your back? Did he say, babe, you're going to be okay. You're going to get through this? That man is smitten off of you, okay? If he's doing those things, it's like wrapping you up in a warm hug of love and support. All right? Sure, these gestures might seem small on their own, but you put them all together and bam, that doesn't mean they have to do every single one of these things. But if they've got a couple of these things, that man is smitten, okay? You've got a recipe for a rock solid, super snuggly relationship. All right? Okay, now, when life throws curveballs, I personally cling to the belief that there's a grand design behind it all. Trusting in divine guidance keeps me anchored, reminding me that every twist and turn serves a purpose. Through trials and triumphs, I've discovered that the greatest rewards often emerge when we least anticipate them, whether in the near future or even further down the road. All right, now, let's cap it off with the most profound relationship counsel I've ever embraced is this. Love unreservedly and stay authentically true to yourself. Why? Because authenticity acts as a litmus test, revealing those destined to journey beside us and those meant to fade away. Some people are meant to be in the end of your chapter, in the end of your book, of your story, or in the beginning only, in a couple chapters, or just one. All right? On the flip side, no pun intended, the most dubious relationship advice I've actually encountered myself is a notion of rebounding to heal heartache. In order to get over one, you got to get under another, right? That's a futile attempt to patch wounds without addressing the underlying emotions or complexities. But hey, you do you, boo-boo, like I always say, okay? Instead, I want you guys to trust in the process, remaining steadfast in our authenticity as we navigate the journey of love and self-discovery. And I promise you, if you hold true to the process and trust that process and stay strong, you will see not only light at the end of that tunnel, but a beautiful glory, all right, that's going to make much more impact in your life. All right? Now, before we close out, I want to share some beautiful quotes that will help drive this home even further as it relates to how a man shows his love. And when he is truly in love, girl, all right, you're going to feel it, you're going to know. But I'm going to share these quotes with you. Zsa Zsa Gabor said, "A man in love is not complete until he is married. Then he is finished." And this quote actually humorously captures the idea of commitment and dedication in romantic relationships. Research suggests that committed relationships such as marriage often lead to greater life satisfaction and fulfillment for both partners. Okay? Another quote. "When a man loves a woman, he has to become worthy of her. The higher her virtue, the more noble her character, the more devoted she is to truth, justice, goodness, the more a man has to aspire to be worthy of her. This is from Veronica. I apologize if I'm slaughtering the last name, but Tugaleva. Okay, I'll post it in the video. Okay, or even in the description, one or the other. All right, but what that quote emphasizes is the idea of mutual admiration and respect in relationships. Research has actually shown that couples who hold each other in high regard and admire each other's qualities tend to have stronger and more satisfying relationships. All right, another quote. When a man loves a woman, he can't keep his mind on anything else. He'd trade the world for the good thing that he has found. All right, that's from Percy Sledge. What this quote highlights is the intensity and focus of romantic love. Studies on the neuroscience of love suggest that being in love can lead to heightened attention and preoccupation with one's romantic partner. All right, 2 more that I'm going to share with you, and then we'll end it there, okay? Another good quote by Frank Abagnale, I believe is how you pronounce it. It says, "A real man loves his wife and places his family as the most important thing in life. Nothing has brought me more peace and content in life than simply being a good husband and father." I love that. This quote, what it does is it underscores the importance of commitment and family in a man's life. Contrary to popular belief out there that's going on right now, okay? Research actually indicates that strong family bonds and a sense of commitment contribute to marital stability and overall well-being. Yeah. Okay. And last one by Brendan Francis. "A man is already halfway in love with any woman who listens to him." I love that. This quote is one of my favorites. What it does is it actually highlights the significance of emotional connection and communication in relationships. Studies have emphasized the importance of active listening and empathy in fostering intimacy and relational satisfaction. Yeah, Dr. John Gottman talks about this a lot. All right. All right, there you have it, everyone. We've explored the depths of what it truly means when a man loves a woman. It's not just about grand gestures or flashy displays, right? It's about the little everyday actions that speak volumes. From active listening and affectionate touch to expressing genuine appreciation and providing unwavering emotional support, we've uncovered the unmistakable signs of true love. It's about being there in both the good times and the bad, with empathy, respect, and a deep understanding of each other's needs. All right, as we conclude this insightful journey, remember to cherish those who love you for who you truly are, and also reciprocate that love authentically. All right, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to spread these invaluable insights with your loved ones. All right. If you have a mother in your life that you would love to have them hear this, please send it to them. If you have a daughter that's in her teens that you think this would add value to her life, please share it. You have a girlfriend, another family member, or even a significant other. Share it with them. You'd be surprised how much you can actually unpack from a lot of these episodes that I have, and especially some more that I have coming. So stay tuned for more of those discussions, okay, on love, relationships, and personal growth. All right, ladies, until next time, may your relationships be filled with genuine affection, mutual respect, and boundless love. Take care. Bye.